The mysterious outbreak of Guillain-Barré syndrome. A dark shadow looms over China. Guillain-Barré syndrome, GBS, a rare neurological disorder, is spreading at an alarming rate. Viral videos on Douyin show young patients bedridden and in agony, with haunting captions, "paralyzed after the Sinovac shot." A young man in Shanghai, identifying himself as blogger Xin Yinggai, shared his ordeal. "It's been over a year and I still can't walk. Why is GBS surging after the pandemic?" Another woman, known as Flowers Bloom in midsummer, recounted her desperate search for treatment after falling ill, enduring paralysis and breathing difficulties for years. From Beijing, Henan, Shandong to Jiangsu, countless individuals report developing GBS after receiving 2 doses of Sinovac, the vaccine mandated by the Chinese Communist Party, during the COVID-19 pandemic. Doctors at Beijing Hospital of Traditional Chinese Medicine admit a sharp rise in GBS cases since 2023, yet the authorities remain silent. Dr. Jiao Boon from Shandong University Hospital described a patient who developed symptoms, weak limbs and respiratory failure, just 2 weeks after a COVID-19 infection. Meanwhile, Dr. Fang Min from Shanghai's Tongren Hospital insisted GBS only flares up with triggers like viruses or vaccines. The CCP's silence fuels public outrage, especially as Sinovac Biotech, the vaccine's manufacturer, abruptly halted production in January 2024, leaving millions grappling with aftereffects like leukopenia, lung nodules, and sudden deaths. Commentator Tsai Shenkun branded Sinovac a politically correct product, developed not for efficacy but to save face for the regime. As citizens battle illness, the government's censorship of information has shattered trust in the healthcare system. Floods and earthquakes, a dual disaster, plunges people into despair. China in 2025 is reeling from relentless natural disasters. In Hunan, catastrophic flooding has turned vast areas into seas of water. A total of 178 reservoirs were forced to discharge floodwater, submerging Longshan County and Zhongaj City in chaos. Misi, a resident of Zixaping village, choked back tears. "The first floor is completely flooded, and water reached the second. Our crops are gone. We have nothing left. No clean water, no electricity, no food. Entire towns vanished under the deluge, forming massive inland lakes." Mr. Wang from Fengxiang village reported hydropower stations overflowing or collapsing, threatening to engulf central Zhongaj. At least 25,000 people have been evacuated, but the death toll remains a mystery, with accusations that the government is concealing the disaster's true scale. Before recovery could begin, Guangdong was rocked by a 4.3 magnitude earthquake on June 23 in Qingyuan. The tremors reached Guangzhou, Foshan, Shenzhen, and even Hong Kong and Macau. A Guangzhou resident recalled, "The whole building shook, and wall hangings swayed violently. I jumped up, heart pounding, thinking it was machinery downstairs. Roads cracked, windows shattered, and some buildings in Huadu tilted, leaving residents too terrified to return home." At the Guangdong University of Foreign Studies dormitory, floors split after mere seconds of aftershocks, raising fears about shoddy tofu dreg construction. Unaccustomed to earthquakes, Guangdong's residents, more familiar with typhoons, plunged into panic. One survivor of the 2008 Sichuan earthquake remarked, "It wasn't as strong as Sichuan, but the sensation of the earth shaking still terrifies everyone." This double blow of disasters exposes the CCP's glaring failures in crisis management. Hunan residents rage over delayed rescues, while Guangdong locals demand inspections of building quality. A bitter comment circulating online sums it up. Turns out we live in V-shaped buildings, cracked floors and tilting walls from a minor quake, economic collapse, human food, and widespread poverty. China's economy in 2025 is spiraling into a deep recession, dragging millions into poverty. The National Bureau of Statistics reports a 1.6% drop in fiscal revenue over the first 5 months, totaling 7.916 trillion yuan. Retail sales grew 6.4% with subsidies, but demand collapsed once aid was withdrawn. Industrial electricity consumption rose a mere 2.1%, signaling economic stagnation. Industrial profits crawled up by 1.4% and credit plummeted, with new loans in April reaching just 2.8 trillion yuan, a 90% drop from the prior month. Unemployment is rampant, with 12.2 million college graduates entering a job market already burdened by 20 million unemployed or underemployed workers. Some universities report 0% employment rates for PhDs, 27% for master's graduates, and 30% for bachelor's degree holders. In Shanghai, major firms are downsizing, and small businesses are collapsing en masse. Streets are eerily quiet, with 3 million restaurants shuttered in 2024, 8,000 closures daily. Luxury hotels slash rates to 100 yuan per night yet remain empty. Amid this destitution, human food has become a symbol of survival. Douyin shelves brim with powdered meal replacements mixed with water into flavorless sustenance. A popular product, ruofan, is marketed as a weak meal, costing just 117 yuan weekly. Exhausted workers with no time to cook rely on ruofan to stave off hunger during grueling shifts. One worker shared, "Eating well is a luxury. We eat to survive." The story of Lu Jixiang, 48, once a owner of 5 supermarkets, now homeless, epitomizes the collapse. He sleeps in tunnels, surviving on tap water and scraps, like thousands in Shanghai and Wuhan. A people in misery. From civil servants to migrant workers. Life for ordinary Chinese in 2025 is a relentless struggle. Civil servants, once a stable class, face severe pay cuts. In Guangdong, police salaries dropped by a third, while Jiangsu and Shandong officials lost 50,000, 60,000 yuan annually. The government banned alcohol and group dining, prompting sarcastic remarks. Now even a decent meal is a crime. Migrant workers and delivery drivers fare worse, earning 9 yuan per hour, less than KFC student workers in 2010. Many sleep in tunnels or parks, eating cheap 2 yuan porridge or sharing roasted duck under streetlights. Rural residents survive on less than 4,000 yuan monthly, some scraping by with mere thousands yearly. Ultra-low consumption is the new norm, as Shanghai's elite swap 200 yuan meals for 12 yuan lunchboxes. A Wuhan resident lamented, "We ask for little, just peace and dignity, but even that's gone." Public discontent surges, with Guangdong residents refusing to donate after floods, declaring, "Not a single cent will reach us." Trust in the CCP has hit an all-time low. Political instability, the CCP teeters, shocking rumors swirl. As citizens grapple with disasters and poverty, the CCP faces a severe internal crisis. A bombshell rumor claims Xi Jinping was detained in a Shanghai military bunker after returning from the Central Asia Summit on June 16. At the summit, he faced a cold reception from Central Asian leaders due to a paltry 1.5 billion yuan pledge, down from 26 billion previously. Blogger Su Xiao alleged General Zhang Youxia ordered Xi, along with Chai Chi and Wang Yi, to a Xi'an shelter, where the latter two were interrogated over diplomatic blunders. Though unverified, the rumor reflects growing dissent against Xi. On June 19, 39 senior military officers, including 3 generals, were purged in a single day, the largest military shakeup in decades. Yang Youxia is reportedly reversing Xi's military reforms, restoring the old 7 military regions. Rumors of Xi suffering a stroke in July 2024 fuel speculation that his rule is nearing its end. The 4th plenary session in August is seen as a potential moment for his resignation, with Wang Huning calling for political resolve. Even Xi's mother, Qi Xin, allegedly hosted a farewell banquet, urging him to retire for health reasons. Former leader Hu Jintao, in a tearful internal speech, admitted misjudging Xi, blaming him for national chaos. He and Wen Jiabao advocate for a graceful exit, but Zhang Youxia and Hu Chunhua demand accountability. This internal rift signals the CCP's loss of control, with the risk of open conflict looming. International pressure. Trump isolates the CCP. Globally, the CCP is increasingly isolated. U.S. President Donald Trump's precise strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities have crippled the China-Iran-Russia axis. The attack on Fordo, 90 meters underground, stunned Beijing, as their own subterranean command systems are similar. Trump declared, "Destroy the CCP, and regimes like Iran and North Korea will fall." China's foreign ministry condemned Israel and the U.S., but its fear is palpable. Xi, while quietly studying Israel's tactics for a potential Taiwan invasion, paused plans under U.S. pressure. Scholar Wu Jiaheng argues Trump has trapped the CCP, aiming to topple Iran, isolate China, and bolster an Israel-Saudi Arabia alliance. The CCP's proxy manipulation tactics have failed. The Hill commentary exposed Beijing's history of deceit, from the South China Sea to Hong Kong, warning the U.S. against trusting the regime. China is increasingly on the defensive. China on the brink of collapse. China in 2025 is a grim tableau of disease, disaster, economic ruin, and political turmoil converging into a perfect storm. Guillain-Barré syndrome spreads unchecked. Floods and earthquakes devastate communities, human food symbolizes bare survival, and citizens, from civil servants to migrant workers, sink into poverty. The CCP, riven by internal strife and pressured by Trump's global strategy, is losing its grip. Rumors of Xi's downfall are but the tip of the iceberg, as citizens demand an end to authoritarian rule. Can China weather this crisis, or is this the beginning of an empire's collapse? Only time will tell.